Welcome back to the network, guys. It's your girl, Angela, and
your boy Sadiq Davies.
yeah, so what's going on?
Nah, nothing, man. I really can't complain much at all, Angela. Like the week's been some hurdles that I was facing during the week for the most
No.
part, especially when it comes to work, real estate, and everything like that. I'm working on in the middle of working on a development project, so I'm facing some hurdles right now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the
So
build.
that's the build that I have going
Yeah.
on right now that I'm trying to overcome. So I have a lot of these obstacles that I'm facing, and I just been dealing with it for some time now.
Oh,
But
so you're telling me it's not that easy? It's not that easy, like that,
listen,
like
the
the
shit
gurus,
is not hard.
like the
I mean, it's
guru,
not that easy.
like the
Sorry, but
gurus say
nah, forget all
on
those gurus.
Instagram.
Listen, forget all forget all those gurus, man. Them gurus are straight clowns. Listen, developments, renovations. It's not as easy as these gurus make it to be. It's not. It's a
Yeah,
lot of hard work. What about you?
yeah. No, just been taking it easy. It was a busy work week though.
Yeah.
It was a busy work week. I had like almost like a last minute closing
All
kind
right,
of. I had to
congratulate.
thank you,
Hey,
thank you, thank
congratulations.
you.
There we
Well,
go.
we were working on it. It was a little challenge, so you know how that goes with those
Yeah.
ones. Like you're just kind of waiting,
Yeah.
and every day it's like, are we closing today? Are we
Yeah.
closing
Yeah.
today?
Oh my
And then
God.
finally, it was like we're
We
closing.
got we
So
got
I
the
had to like jump
CTC.
up. I had to jump up. I had to jump up and fly over, do the walkthrough,
uh-huh.
and we finally closed. It's good.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you.
There was a showing that I had on Saturday. Was it Yes, Saturday. Yesterday actually. For a single family home out in Cumberland.
Ooh,
And this house is this regular ranch, really nice property.
yeah.
There was like 30 30 plus people that
So
showed up, and
so
I
it's
came
still
right at the end. So the
listen for a good
market,
house for like
yeah,
a house that like photographed really well and it's still busy like that.
it is, it is, it is, it is. Like the market, you expect that the market to slow down. In certain areas, it's probably
Yeah.
slow down, but I think when you have a dope house or a nice looking house, you're gonna see those buyers come out.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what happened with that specific property that we went to go see
Yeah,
yesterday.
I think people are a little bit more particular given the fact that rates are, even though they've come down,
Yeah,
they're still a little higher. People really want to get a bang for their buck.
facts, 100%.
So it's hard for them to go into a house that is not so pretty and needs a lot of work
Yeah,
because they're already paying top dollar. So when you put a house on the market
yeah,
that like shows well,
yeah.
yeah,
And you don't
I've
gotta
been in
do
those properties.
nothing.
Yeah.
Just straight moving is one, man. And those are the good houses. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that buyers are looking for
Oh
nowadays.
yeah.
Buyers don't. I think buyers are more cautious in terms of just selecting any type of house because
Yeah.
they don't want to be dealing with homes that they have to walk into and they have to start fixing things immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna deal with maintenance, but for the most part, if they could get a moving ready type home, they Gucci, they ready to go. Other than that, like, what's been going on with the East Providence Washington Bridge?
Oh yeah, yeah. You saw the director of DOT. He was
Yes.
on. He did a couple interviews. He yeah, he was saying talking about the bridge is actually made up of like 18 different components. So
Sheesh.
that's why like the confusion about okay, well, why can we travel on one side and not
Hmm.
the other? I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but that's basically what he was saying. But there is potential that they're gonna have to tear it completely down and start fresh.
Vic's an engineer. You guys ever like spoke about like?
Well, he does mechanical. He
Gotcha.
has some background in like biofarm and electrical.
Yeah.
So he's not civil.
Oh, all right. Oh,
So it's a
that's
little
civil
different.
engineer.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's a
Gotcha.
little different. Obviously I think he has his own opinions about it.
Hmm.
It's a lot more complicated
Mm.
than we would know, but I mean, it is trash. Sucks. It took me an hour and 20 minutes from my house in Cranston to
Hmm.
drive my son to his winter ball at Venus de Milo.
Damn.
So the traffic has been kind of crazy. Today was smooth.
Yeah, I think it depends on what time you're hitting that road, right? Because if you're going first thing in the morning, you're definitely gonna hit traffic. Forget about it. My sister has to take my niece all the way out to EP for school. She'd be stuck in traffic for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and she's pregnant too on top
Oh
of that.
goodness.
So
No,
she'd
thank
be
you.
she'd be stressed,
No.
And then I think the other time slot too that people are having issues that I'm noticing is probably about the evening time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So which is it's unfortunate because now they're talking about they don't know if they're gonna have to replace the whole new
Yeah.
bridge or just fix the bridge. Not sure what that looks
Well, when
like.
they closed it, I was concerned. Obviously, I'm like,
Mhm.
does this like mess up the market? Like, are people like, what are East Providence listings gonna look like?
Oh,
And
that's a good
honestly,
question.
I don't think it's changed it.
Yeah.
I've seen several East Providence houses go up and
Hmm.
come off the market. I think at the end of the day, people still want to live in a particular area. They're gonna do it. There's ways around it.
Yeah, nah,
And
this
it's temporary.
yeah, that's true. And there's still back roads, that people could take. Yeah, it might take a little longer, but for the most part, I don't think it's going to devalue anybody's home. There are concerns in regards to that, with other either realtors speaking on it or maybe people that live in East Providence. They're concerned that maybe their value of their homes might diminish because of this issue. But definitely not. I don't. I listen. I think at the end of the day, I believe that at the end of the day, if somebody's gonna buy a house in the area that they like, they're gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Regardless.
regardless of the situation, so it's one of those things where like the bridge is not gonna stop them because there's still back roads, and you can still at least drive on one side of the road.
Right.
You just have to deal with the friction that's going on right now in terms of traffic and traffic
Yeah, I
jams.
think
But
Rhode Island, no, we don't like traffic. Anything longer than like 5, 10 minutes,
that is true.
it's crazy. Like other states, that's normal,
Yeah,
right? Bigger
an
cities,
hour
it's
is
normal.
normal. Yeah,
Sitting in traffic for an hour, hour and a half is
yeah.
normal. Not for me. I be twitching. I don't like it. Like I don't mind driving a long distance, but I
Yeah,
just want to be moving.
yeah.
Like I just can't. I can't be sitting in traffic.
I totally feel it. I think we have that Rhode Island, the quote unquote Rhode Island type of mindset. You know what I mean? That New England
Yeah.
mindset where anything beyond 10 minutes is like dreadful.
No, no, I don't mind the drive. I just don't want to be in like gridlock traffic
Yeah.
to get there. I just want to be going.
Yeah, nah. See, you don't mind the drives. Telling somebody to go from east side of Providence to the south side of Providence is dreadful for them. So like,
My brother lived in Pawtucket growing up, and
uh,
my parents always made it seem like going from South Providence to
yeah,
Pawtucket was
was a
like a
mission.
road trip. And it was always like, oh, we gotta go to Pawtucket to get them. And I'm like, I thought it was so far when I was a kid because
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
And then when I started driving, I'm like, what are you
It's
talking
not that
about?
bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that
It's
bad.
not, nah, it's yo man, nah, it's definitely New England type of
Yeah, we're just
mindset.
Rhode Island. I think in general, we tend to be like, we have this like, Providence is a city,
Hmm.
obviously, but we have this like small town mentality. So
Facts.
people get very strange and weird and territorial about certain
Hmm.
things, kind
Yeah.
of like in Johnston with the solar farms.
Oh my
Everyone
gosh.
got an
Yeah.
opinion about it. And I think you get that in like small towns. A lot
Hmm.
of times, like bigger cities, like developments happen and things change,
Yeah.
and they just go like everyone has an opinion about things. But small towns, people are showing up at their town council meetings and they're like, we don't want this to happen.
And I told, listen, um, that whole solar farm situation that's going on in Johnston right now, it's an unfortunate situation, right? Because you have the founder of Green Development, which is Mark D. Pasquale, and he's been fighting the town for like the last 2 years to get this solar farm situated with. But for some reason, the people of Johnston is definitely, it goes back to what you say. They definitely territorial
Yeah,
with their
yeah.
town, so they don't want this solar farm there.
No, I think, and it comes down to like education too.
Mm,
Solar and renewable sources of energy have
yeah.
been around for so long, but it almost feels like now like the Green New Deal and like, politicians talking about it. It's still new-ish
Mm,
and not a lot of education around like the benefits or even the the downfalls
mm,
of it. Like there's not enough of that conversation. You really have to be completely educated and most
yeah.
people just aren't.
Yeah. Nah, when I did a quick research on it because obviously it was something that we posted on recently on our network page on Instagram, and three. So they want to utilize 300 acres of that for solar farming, and I believe because this guy Mark had been fighting it the last 2 years, I think he cut down in half to like 150 acres, something like that, right?
Okay.
But they recently he recently went in front of the town as well. Obviously, the people of Johnson went in front of the town, and they stole like
Giving them
was
pushback.
pushback
Yeah.
with it, you know. So like it's really really sad to see that, because solar farm, from the research that I've read, it doesn't seem like it's a bad thing, right? More of the positive side is that it will improve air quality or help reduce water usage from energy production, provide ecosystem for host communities through carbon sequestration. I can't even pronounce that, but that's basically the process of capturing, storing, and capturing and storing carbon dioxide,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So it basically helps reduce carbon dioxide. So, which is, to me, I feel like those are good things
Yeah.
that could benefit not only the town of Johnston but other local towns that's around it. You know, so yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I'm for it, but I don't live in the town of Johnston. But
Yeah.
I am for like anything that can help, make our life energy efficient, so
Yeah.
we
Move
don't
it
have to,
forward.
moving forward. And that's the way things are going, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Look at Massachusetts. Massachusetts, they're trying to, by 2030 something, they say they're trying to make the whole state become more energy
More green.
more
Yeah.
green.
I mean, I'm with it too. So wait, funny story. You know, I used to be in a science club. I
Nah,
was a
get
little
out of
science
here.
nerd. Yeah, I was in a science. I was like in elementary school and into middle school.
Uh-huh.
So I used to teach around the state about renewable sources of energy.
That's pretty
And
dope.
so I actually studied solar, biomass. My area of expertise
Hmm.
was potential and kinetic energy.
All right, what is
So
that?
I taught basically about storing energy and how potential energy becomes kinetic. You know,
All
remember
right.
you know that line,
All right.
you
No,
know the
but
hip hop
okay.
line. Potential energy is
Here we
easily
go.
made
Hey, you
kinetic.
freestyle, let's go.
No, no, but for real. So I was a little science nerd. I used to go to Sackett Street Elementary School.
Yeah.
I was in the National Energy Education Development Project,
Dope.
and we used to teach at National Grid. I want to say it was Narragansett Electric at the time.
All
That's
right.
how old
Yep.
it was.
Damn. You're
And we
dating
used
me
to,
right
yep,
now.
yep. And we used to teach the kids, and we had our little stations, and solar was one of them. That we
That's
had like,
awesome.
I can't remember them, but we had like little songs and little
Hmm.
chants.
Hmm.
I wish I could remember one because I would bust out saying it, but
Stop spitting.
I can't remember them. But we had
If
like
you guys
little.
don't know, Angie be spitting on the low.
No,
Don't,
I do
yeah, she be
not.
spitting on the
No,
low.
I do not. I'm just a hip hop head. But no. So like I said, going back to what I was saying, like it's been a topic
Yeah.
for a long time. We just are not as educated.
Yeah.
And I think the people in Johnson, they have a right to have a little reluctancy.
Of
They
course.
don't want somebody coming in, they don't want their property values to go down.
Hmm.
Is it going to change traffic patterns? This and then what next?
Mm.
Right? Like if they allow this in, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, you already got like what is it, the Amazon? Isn't the
Amazon's there.
Amazons there
Yeah.
already? I know people did not like that
Mm.
because it just changes the traffic flow.
But doesn't that become a tax benefit for the city, though?
That I don't even know. It might. It
That's
might.
interesting. Maybe that's something that I would definitely want to do some research on, just to see how the town will benefit from it. Because if the town does benefit from it, um, maybe it's less of a concern that that the people who lives in Johnston should be worried about. But if anybody's watching this and you're from Johnston, whether you're with a zoning board or you just live in Johnston, there's a benefit to
Yeah, I
this
want to
side.
know.
I definitely want to know. Definitely comment. Leave us, either send us a DM or just comment in general. But yeah, like just noticing, even as builders, there's always things that you have to go in front of the board for.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times, or maybe just about all, or in all cases, when you're doing any form of new construction, or depending where the new construction is at, or how it's laid out, you might have the city maybe more involved as well.
Yeah.
Hearing the voice from the
But I think
people.
the people is that it's not just the town. They
Yeah.
don't. I think they want to know how it affects them personally,
Mm.
right? Like if I'm a homeowner around that 300 or 150 acres,
Yeah.
most people want to know how that affects them personally. Like if my land butts up to that, what does that
Mm.
mean for me?
For the value,
Like
are you saying?
value, but like also, are you gonna start like now? Am I gonna have to worry about you maybe like infringing on my land
Encroaching.
encroaching and like I think that's what people's concerns are.
Gotcha. One of the things that I read is that the concern that a lot of people have is the value of their property. And there's a 50-50 conversation that's online as well, that there are some article that states that maybe it might devalue, but those are certain states. It wasn't really nothing about Rhode Island or anything in
Because it's
regards to
still
New
new
England.
here.
It's still new, but further out Midwest, there are certain articles that has been written that say that states that might devalue certain things, but then there are other articles that states that it can help with the value of the area or the houses. So you really don't know. You really don't know till you put your house on the market and you're ready to sell. Because at the end of the day, the market is the one who's really going to dictate
Yeah,
what the value of your house is.
this is
You
true.
know what I mean? Raising Cain.
Oh, speaking of Johnston,
Yeah,
Johnston just
Johnson is on the road. Johnson
Johnston
is
on
on
the
the road
road.
right now. Right now. Yeah, Raising Cain
Yeah.
made a major impact.
Were you in Johnston the day that it opened? It opened on January 17th.
No.
Traffic was bonkers.
So one of my peoples that I follow on Instagram, he actually he actually went there. I think the very first day open.
Yeah, because they were giving out like to the first 100 patrons like that ordered some particular meal. I don't know. You got a T-shirt and
Are
something
you
else. I don't
serious?
know. You got something.
Well, whatever they did, they caused a major traffic jam,
Yeah.
and they still causing a major traffic
Yeah,
jam.
they had to
till
have
this
police.
day.
They had to have police detail.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, because
wild.
people are serious about their food,
They really are.
particularly their chicken.
They
I
really.
think they are. No, it's true because Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
when it opened,
Uh-huh.
crazy.
Chick-fil-A, that was wild.
People get crazy over their
It's-
chicken.
Yo.
And then if you want to start a beef with somebody
Yeah.
about particular food, just start talking like KFC, Popeyes, now Raising Cane's
Yo.
and Chick-fil-A. People are gonna get if you tell somebody, and I don't eat fast food,
Yeah.
so unfortunately I've never had any of those
Mhm.
things I just
You don't
named.
eat fast food?
No, I gave
Get
it up
outta
like
here.
14 years ago.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It was hard the first 6 months, but now it's fine.
Yeah.
But the first 6 months of doing it, I
was
just
a struggle.
yeah, because I was always hungry. I'm busy. Like if I'm driving around, like it's mad
Yeah.
easy to just stop at like a
Yo,
McDonald's or
facts.
something. But I don't do that anymore. So I don't know. Y'all, let me know how Raising Cane's is because I want to know. I want to know. It was really busy, but the origin stories of Raising Cane's
Yeah.
is dope.
What? Talk to
So
me.
the owner, his name is. I have to look back at my notes just to make sure I get his name right. But it was Todd Graves and Craig Silvey. They founded Raising Cane's in 1966.
Interesting.
And they had this idea, just like young college students, we're going to have a restaurant that's just chicken tenders. And they had a college assignment where they pitched their business idea.
Yeah.
And they got the lowest grade. And the professor told them, you're nuts. You're not, like, this is not a good business plan. Like, a restaurant with, like, one product, like chicken tender only business, you're dumb. So they went on years of pitching the idea to investors. A lot of people, closed doors.
Yeah.
They ended up working like manual jobs to raise a decent amount of money. Got an SBA loan and opened up their first location in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then now they have like over 700 locations nationwide. They're international. Their first restaurant is in Kuwait.
That's dope.
They've switched up their business model according to like location. So their mascot is a yellow lab, and that's where the name came from. It was Craig's dog. That was his dog.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, for
about
all
to-
you dog lovers.
I was about to say, how you
all
get
you
a
dog
yellow
lovers.
lab and you're selling chicken, but now that makes
Because
sense.
they were throwing around names, and they were like, okay, Kane. So that's the name. So you see that as a mascot, but when you go to Kuwait, you don't see that. People are not as like dog friendly there, I guess. Here people will run over a person to save a dog.
Yo,
People don't care about
People love their dogs.
dog rights, human rights.
But you know what's crazy though? I get it now, right? Because
Oh, because you're you
a-
have a grand dog.
I'm a grand dog daddy. Like, I don't know how you want to phrase it, but I'm a grand dog
His
daddy.
daughter has a dog. So
Like,
his
it's-
grand dog.
Yeah, like, you know what? It's crazy because I really used to I never understood the mindset of all these people that are dog owners, and they would they rather see a human being suffer first before a dog or some form of, actually a dog suffer first. But since my daughter has this golden doodle mini, I've I've been able to create like this ill ass connection with this dog. Like, yo,
Aw.
it's so crazy. But now I get the emotional connection, and now that people have with their dogs, now I understand why they
Mhm.
say man's best friend.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
before I never understood it, but now it's crazy to even like think that, and like even like now having was their name Raising Cane's over there in Johnston. My daughter went there. Told about my daughter. Like she went there recently. She asked me if I wanted something. I was like, yeah, I'll get something. She was like, Daddy. She called me back like maybe like 15 minutes later. She was like, Daddy, I'm still here. This major traffic jam. I have to go to work. Listen, what?
You ain't getting your chicken.
Nah, she was like, after I get out of work, like at 11 o'clock, I'll stop by because I guess they close at 12 or something like that. So she was like, I'll stop by there. I'll pick it up since it'll be dying down. I'm like, all right, cool. She got it. It was good. You know, it was good. I won't say there's nothing negative I would say about it. I think it was they definitely served some good chicken.
But they open on Sundays.
So what does that mean though?
Chick-fil-A open on Sundays.
What does that mean for Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A is Chick-fil-A. People are still gonna go. People are still gonna line up. They don't care. But on
So you don't
Sundays,
think that impact their business line?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, on Sundays, obviously, you want some chicken, you're gonna go to Cane's now, and
Yeah.
not because they open another one in Seekonk like towards the end of the year.
Raising Cane? Oh, for real? Oh, that's
There's gonna be
fine.
another
That's
one in
what's up.
Seekonk, and I guess the goal is to open 100 more nationwide. So these people went from 1966
Mhm.
pitching a crazy idea, having
Yeah.
people laugh at them,
Yeah.
to today opening up. They have over 700 locations. Oh, even Post Malone is in business with them.
How
Did you know
so?
that? So they have a location in Dallas. So it's like Post Malone times Dallas Cowboys. And so there's this
What?
yeah, in Dallas it's like the spot is dope. It has the giant star.
Uh-huh.
It's all blue and lit up and
Yeah.
like real modern. They have a bunch of Post Malone paraphernalia and memorabilia
Get outta
in there.
here.
A lot of Dallas Cowboy stuff. Yeah, so he's from the area.
Yeah.
And, I guess, he grew up eating at Cane's. So
So
he approached the CEO and was like, I want to work
That's
with you.
dope.
Like, I know they have some franchise locations right now. They're kind of focusing on just growing their business and not necessarily franchising as much. But
Right.
I think it's smart. They tapped into a person. So Texas has
dope.
some of the most of these restaurants.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
They have some of the most of these
So
restaurants.
they're not a franchise restaurant?
I guess they have some,
All right.
but they've kind of stepped back from that.
Gotcha.
So if you were trying to franchise, I think you would have to have like a really good business idea and a lot of money and be able to get in front of the CEOs, because right now they're just focusing on expanding their portfolio.
Which makes
specifically.
sense, especially if they're doing good the way they are doing. You know, I don't know much about franchising, but it's something that I definitely would love to talk. I would definitely would love to talk to somebody about franchising, because it's interesting how these franchise companies work. You know, one day, yeah, if there anybody that owns a franchise out there, please, we definitely want to invite you onto a platform so we could get an idea of how
because
that,
everywhere is different.
It's different.
Criteria is different.
Exactly, but one of the things, I'm not sure if you ever heard, if you ever watched the McDonald's movie,
Yeah.
where the guy, he made sure he owned the land that the McDonald's was built on.
Oh.
So like it's a ill as from a real estate concept. It's freaking ill. Like, you know what I mean? That I would love to talk to somebody in regards to that, because I would love to get an idea what that whole business model looks like for a franchise.
Oh yeah.
That'll definitely be dope. But even talking about Raising Cane, man, I can't wait till we sit down with a guest. Man, this person, she's I've been hearing a lot of great things about her. Her name's Jessica Zeon.
First of all, dope last name.
That's a dope ass last name.
You know, I like the letter Z. My favorite letter in the alphabet.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just always liked it. It got flow. You know, my maiden last name is Sanchez. I always loved that.
Yeah.
That's why I named my kid Xavier.
All right,
Z.
that's what's up. I didn't know that.
Could have used an X, but I said, nah, I'm gonna use my favorite letter.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. It's creative. But this girl, she's been killing it, I guess. A lot of people referred me to her, you know, and I want the opportunity to talk about her business aspect of her. It's a catering business, and she's been in the game for since 2017. She's been through a lot, domestic violence. So we're going to talk about that, because it impacts a lot of women, especially when they try and find their way out of domestic violence situation and move on forward with their life. But she's found a way to overcome domestic violence, started a catering business, killing it in the game, catered to different levels of whether it's corporations, NBA, weddings, whatever that looks like, she's killing it right now, you know. So I can't wait to talk about that. It's almost like she has this ill ass story from rags to riches type of story, even though she's not rich. Like, I don't think she's rich. I don't know if she could tell us, but I doubt
Yeah,
it.
this girl's pocket.
Listen, I'm in a pocket. Maybe it's somebody I'm trying to holler at. Maybe I want a sugar mama. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Stupid.
But she has this ill ass rags to riches story, and I think it's definitely gonna be insightful. And then, like, you know, just talking about her business model
And a
too,
woman empowerment.
and a
The
woman empowerment. I think all that together.
Remember the last couple episodes we talked about how women, particularly single women, are really leading the game when it comes to home ownership, businesses, leading corporations. Studies do show when you have a woman, in a leadership role, the business naturally is more successful.
And what's the reason behind that?
I think most, and I'm saying most. I know it's not all. There's always, like, you know,
Yeah.
don't get too upset. But I think women just naturally we're natural problem solvers. You know,
Definitely.
I think we get a reputation of being like emotional and overly emotional, but really I think just people in general. I mean, I've seen a lot of men throw tantrums. So
Interesting that you said.
I've seen a lot of men throw tantrums.
So you are 100% right, because the article that I read when I did a study in regards to woman home ownership, woman
led
businesses. And the article specifically stated what you said. And a lot of times, the reason why a lot of these corporations are trying to move towards women leadership more so is because women are more, what's the best way that I could put it? I guess more level-headed versus men with very, like, alpha, like, there's just a lot of aggression, you know, that we put out
we'll
there.
call it what it is. It's always a pissing contest.
Yeah.
It really is. Where I think a lot of times women do lead with their heart. And you know, there's always a good and bad thing. I've talked about this. You know, I'm always trying to find that balance, that yin and yang.
Yeah.
But I think that's why naturally women were problem solvers. So if there's a problem, they want to solve it. So it just puts them in a more like leadership type role. People will look to them. Unfortunately, I can't wait for there to be a time where people are not looking at women like they're less than. Or like, you know what I mean? Because once we get to that place, I think
we are getting to that place. I think, and the reason why I say that is because I've noticed a lot more women are in the forefront of what success should look like. You know, what taking leadership roles look like today, you know, and whether they're independent business owners or just running a straight corporations. I think women are, yes, maybe the income is still not there. There's still a disparity in terms of income, most likely. But in terms of what they're doing and the impact that they make in the corporate world or in the self-entrepreneurship type of world, I think they definitely making a lot of noise for themselves. And this Jessica Zeon, I definitely think she's one of those women that could speak on behalf of that.
Yes.
You know, another crazy thing that's going on too, I'm not sure if you've noticed, is the Gen Z market, right? Where they were saying that that they're concerned about the future of home ownership within the Gen Z, right? We're millennials, right?
Yeah.
So the Gen Zs are right after us. So those are the age group between 97 to 2012 or something like that, right? And they're saying that about less than 17% are owning homes right now.
Yeah.
And I get it, right? Because obviously a lot of them are still maybe too young in a sense, you know, to own a home. My daughter's a Gen Z. She's 19. You know what I mean? Is she in a position where she could own a home right now? No, right? And then another reason being is maybe they're not in the field of employment where they can make the type of income that they need to make, especially with the home prices being this high and interest rates the way they are.
Yeah, I think right now, in order to own a home, the salary it has to be at minimum like 80 grand a year.
And if it's a couple or dual salary, it's like I think 120 something. Once I forgot the exact number, but I know it's like low six figures.
Yep.
You know, so can they afford that?
Right.
that generation is totally the Gen Z generation is definitely, excuse me, is definitely different. They in a state where they facing economic challenges,
Oh yeah. It's
high interest
super
rates,
expensive to live. I mean,
dumb expensive.
they have the student debt.
Yes.
Student debt. There I feel like there's less access to
Yeah.
scholarships. Then look who the parents are.
Yeah.
Us. And so I think financial aid diminishes too,
Mm.
right? At some point where like when we're growing up, a lot of people had more access to financial aid.
Yeah.
Now, if your parents are making a little bit more, we all know just a little bit, you're
Throws you
out. A
off.
little
That's
bit, making a
yeah.
little bit more
Yeah.
will throw you off. So I think they definitely have taken on a lot more debt,
Yeah.
and so that's why. But they're coming up.
They
They
are,
are coming up.
but I think they still have a long way to go.
Yeah, they
You
got a
know.
they got a they got a good way, but they got the best parents.
Talk about best parents.
No, they do.
If you haven't been watching on social media, the conversation that's been going on, where like how Gen Zers feel like they aging a lot faster than us millennials.
Oh, really?
Yo, oh my gosh,
Why?
I don't. So there was a guy who posted up a video. He's 30. I think he's 30 or maybe slightly younger, and it was funny because black dude, and you know black don't crack. You know what I mean? Light skinned cat. Black shouldn't be cracking the way he's cracking. Like
Why he's
he's
stressed?
aging.
Because he's stressed.
I want to understand what is Gen Z stressing
What
about.
do you mean? What are they stressed
What they stress?
about? You just said it. They can't afford to live.
Listen, but they I feel like Gen Zs are entitled right now. They entitled. They are
I'm bringing my
entitled.
gloves next time. No, they're not.
I'm just listen. They are
They're way
entitled. They
better people than
spoiled.
us. No, they're not.
Nah, they spoiled.
Nah,
They
I don't believe that.
They say that we're narcissists, us millennials. I don't
Uh,
think so.
I mean, you kind of sound like one.
Wow, shit.
Right now,
All
why
right,
you
wow.
judging a whole group of people?
Listen, I can judge
Listen,
them.
listen. I think they are. I think they. If they are aging
Yeah.
faster than us, it's because they're stressed.
Stress from what?
They can't afford damn housing.
Listen, maybe a lot of man. Don't
And
even
also,
let me get in.
no, and also, I think too, and I you can learn something from from their boundary setting, right? Like,
Oh,
when
they
it comes
set
to
boundaries.
they set boundaries, and in all aspects of their lives, like
Yeah, they set
even when it comes to
boundaries.
like work.
Yeah.
I know when I was 19 working for like a corporation, like I was working sometimes 7. I wouldn't leave until 9 because
Yeah.
I was so afraid if they thought that I wasn't a good worker, I couldn't get a promotion. You're talking about a 3% raise. Yeah, they hit me with 20 cents. You did so great, Angela. Here's 20 cents more an hour. For what? Yo, if I had their balls,
Yeah.
I would have been like,
nah.
like
Fuck yeah.
corporate
I'm
baddie.
leaving.
I would have been like, I'm out
For
because
real.
I'm not getting compensated for all
Yeah.
this stress. So I think that's why. I don't know. I think we all have something to give. You know, I'm never gonna lean too far one way. I'm a zen chick. I am. So let's bring on our guest because I'm very excited to sit down with her.
Yes, I am too. And I think it's going to definitely be a great conversation. So once we get back, we're going to go right into our commercial. Once we get back, you guys going to meet the lovely Jessica Zeon. Let's go. This episode is brought to you by Caltif Investments and Consultants. If you're looking for investments for new construction, home, or renovation project, they definitely can provide that service. If you're looking to rent or lease a property, Caltif Investment is the way to go. If you're watching this from our Instagram page, definitely their handle will be within the body of the post. If you're watching this, the full episode on YouTube, definitely send me a message and I'll definitely connect you. It's called the Netwrk for a reason. So we are back with Miss Jessica Zeon and my girl, Angela. Let's get right into it. What's going on, Jess?
Thank you so much for the introduction.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Jessica's amazing in her own ways. You know, she's just killing it in the game. If you don't mind, Jess, let's talk a little bit about your story, what you do, how you got started, and we'll just take the conversation from there.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I have been catering since 2017. I started from in my home, but just to give you a brief description of where I started
Yeah.
from. So basically, I was in a relationship that was abusive. I went through domestic abuse, and I had to get out of that relationship because it was no longer serving me. So when I got out of the relationship, I went through depression,
Mm.
like as you would probably figure, right? And my I had seen a therapist at the time and a nutritionist, and they both like recommended me like, have you ever considered doing catering because or being a chef because she said that her husband was a private chef and he was making six figures a year. So I was like, you know what, I it was always like a plan B, never a plan A, but I'm like, I know I can cook a little bit, so let me look into this. So my therapist challenged me to go to school, and find out. So I went to Johnson and Wales and found out that I can enroll at that moment. So I definitely took my faith to another level because I always struggled with like consistency
Yeah.
in my life. So my mother, she was a prayer warrior, so she prayed with me, and from there I took the bold step and I went through school and I succeeded. I went through I got my degree at Johnson and Wales, and I developed my business plan while I was in school.
That's fire.
And from there, that's when I started from in my apartment, and I scaled, and just I took the leap of faith, and I was like, I'm gonna get register for like a commercial kitchen.
Mhm.
Got in and started catering from there. It just grew from there.
That's
So
crazy.
I still have some customers that are from day one when in my apartment.
Are you
Like I
serious?
still have customers that support me since
So
day
talk
one.
about like when you said, "Okay, I'm going to be a caterer."
Mhm.
What did you do? How were you marketing yourself?
So that's a great question because originally I was just doing plates, as like you guys may see
Mm.
like on Facebook and
Like
stuff,
on a
how people
Sunday.
selling
Yep.
plates.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was just doing that, but then I was like, this is not the concept that I want. Like I want to be known for presentation,
Mhm.
for service. I want to give people experiences. So I started to like just market that way. I created different types of services that would be able to bring me towards that direction. And then a friend of mine, I would network with different people, and I met a young lady that had a business at the time, and she referred me to Providence College.
Mm.
So I started catering with the women's basketball team, and
Okay.
then that's how I started progressively growing and
Dope.
starting to meet different corporate businesses, and it just went from there. But I always still said to myself, I want to create amazing experiences for
Mm.
people. So that's exactly how I started to market myself, like market the services that we do, like with, that distinction.
Mm.
And is it just you or
No, I have a business partner.
All right.
His name's Ben Bowie, and
Shout out Ben A.
shout
shout
out
out
to
to
I think
Ben.
I know. I think I know Ben Bowie.
Oh,
I
you
think
know
I
him?
think
Everybody
so.
knows him.
Liberian.
Yes.
Yes. Shout out Benny. What's good, man? It's your boy Sadiq, man.
so was the criteria that you gotta have a cool name?
I know, right?
What the heck? I like that name, Ben Bowie.
Yes, like Ben has been my mentor since the beginning. When I first got into Johnson and Wales, we went to the same church, and he mentored me, and he had his own catering business going on. And so from there, 2022, we decided to join forces and partner up, and it's just been uphill
So is
from
it you
there.
two that cook?
Yeah, yeah, we have a whole team. So
Oh,
we
okay.
have like a big team, like over 20 people that
Damn,
work with us. Yeah.
So
that's
do you have
crazy.
do you contract them? Are they
Yes.
1099?
Yeah, they're 1099
Nice.
right now. And it's like mostly friends and family,
All right.
and very loyal, very loyal. Everybody's so passionate about the business, and everyone works so hard. We're so blessed. So blessed.
Damn, amen. Blessings, blessings on top of blessings to that. I think one of the things I want to talk about personally, because it's very inspiring, especially for other women or ladies that are in domestic violence situation. How did you? I know you went through therapy. You've seen so and so. but how did that really impacted you,
Yeah.
right? For to be able to uplift yourself and just say, you know what, I need to get out of this. I need something better for myself. I need to push forward because there are other ladies that's out there that feel like maybe they can't find hope. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what does that hope look like for them? Or what
Yeah.
should it look like?
Like just having a near death experience will definitely like make you think to yourself like, how did I get here?
Hmm.
And what can I do to change that? I had a son, my son was 2 years old at the time, and I'm just like, I have to make a better living for not only just him, but I have to change the trajectory of my family line, of my bloodline. Like, this is a generational cycle that I need to break, of
Oof.
just like continuously repeating the same patterns over and over. I need to build wealth. Like, I just like tapped into my why.
Yeah.
And then also I said to myself, I'm just like, you know, how many women are going through this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is such a common thing. And a lot of women stay down. Like, they don't feel like they can rise up out of it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like, I know that God allowed me to go through it to impact those women and to speak life into them,
Mm.
that you can find purpose outside of your pain.
Mm.
So, like, my whole
That's fire.
mission is like, there is so much power in your pain. Like, there's so much purpose
And
behind
what
it.
better way to do it with food,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Because
Like,
it's the way to a man's heart,
it's
right?
a way
Mm.
to the man's heart, but it's also
You
like,
heard it. You
where
better
do
feed that man.
but when you think like when we gather, right?
Yeah.
Everything, like a lot of our lives are
Center.
centered
Yeah.
around food.
Yeah.
And especially when you think like sitting down at a table,
Yeah.
having dinner,
Mm-hmm.
going out to eat with friends, breaking bread with people.
Yeah.
I think that's a dope way to kind of take like what your pain was,
Yeah.
and then you get to put something positive out.
Right.
And I know it's food, but I love
No,
food
but
and
we
I'm
Yeah.
passionate
pour
about food.
our hearts into our food.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
people are serious.
Everyone says that when they experience like our catering, they're like, there's just something unique about it, which is why I came up with the name Distinguished Catering. Well, God gave me that vision. It's because it means to be set apart, to be different, to be distinct, and it's like we pour that love and that passion into our food and into our creativity. We've gotten remarks from customers where it's like their wedding, their milestone. This is something that they're gonna remember forever. Their guests are gonna remember, and they're like, the reason why we came to you is because we want our guests to like, we want this to be a memory that is stamped
It's true because we've
you
gone to
know, in our
restaurants and
milestone.
had not good food,
Yeah,
right? Like you get that
yeah.
dried chicken
Oh my god.
and the potatoes, and then they don't give you ketchup or anything for at least to fix it, right?
No
You just get
flavor.
that dried chicken. You know what I'm talking about? It's just
Yes.
not good.
Trust.
No.
I
And then
know.
the vegetables are always like sad and floppy. They're never cooked right. Like shout out to the people hiring you for weddings.
Yo,
Because I want to go to that wedding.
Nah,
I want to go to the wedding with your catering.
Oh, no, I heard the food is amazing. I heard
Thank
your
you
food
so
is amazing.
much.
You definitely was referred by a lot of people. Now you are capable. You started in your house,
Yeah.
in your apartment, should I say? And now you need to scale because business has been going really well for you.
Yeah.
Now you need a commercial space.
Right.
What did that scaling look like for you?
Right. So it was definitely a hurdle, and I know that it can resonate with a lot of different food businesses. Um, I don't want to, hate on Rhode Island, but Rhode
No, say
Island
it.
doesn't really support small businesses to the aspect as we need it to. Like, they when I originally started from my apartment to a commercial kitchen, I there was a commercial kitchen right on the west end of Providence. It was called Food and Works, and they built a multi-million-dollar kitchen for different small business. A lot of small businesses started from in there. Some that have really scaled, and they shut it down. They went out of business. Don't
Oh
know what
shit.
happened.
You think it was
Um,
those ghost kitchens that popped up?
it wasn't the Ghost Kitchen.
No.
It was way before Ghost Kitchen
Oh, okay.
concept. But what
That's a
happened
good question
was
though.
What happened was the business, it went out of business. I guess they bankrupt, and the owner of the facility now was charging the business owners an arm and a leg to sustain, the cost. So from there I had to leave, and I actually spoke with a friend, and she um set me up with a community kitchen that was on the West End too. So I was working from there for quite some time. They definitely helped guide me along the way, and now we started to expand, especially after the partnership. The business really started to grow,
Yeah.
and we were like stuck. We were like, what can we do? Because the state was like, you can't no longer work here. Your business is too big to work here. So
Mm.
now we had to we found a facility in Pawtucket. It's called Atrium on Main.
I think I've heard
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
yeah, I've heard of
It's a
it. Yeah.
venue,
Yeah.
yes.
Heard of it.
So the owner was very nice enough. He had a commercial kitchen downstairs that wasn't being used. So we negotiated with him and signed a year lease to rent that kitchen exclusively with just us.
That's fire. Shout out
Yes.
to Atrium for that.
Yeah. Mike is an awesome guy. And so from there, our number one goal this year is to purchase our own commercial building. We want to have a facility that does catering as well as renting out the space, the venue. So that we're trying to have that concept of, just renting out the space as well as catering.
That's fine.
Oh wow.
Have you guys figured out what that looks like for you in terms of expense, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, when you're running a business, and you're getting ready to rent a commercial space, have you guys looked at what the overhead will look like for you and how you guys plan to cover that overhead expense?
Well, it sounds like the event space too is gonna.
Yeah.
is
So
gonna
that's
cover
the
some
that's
of
the
that.
model. Basically, the venue is going to generate its own income,
Mhm.
like from events. Like whereas even if we're not catering, it's still making money,
Right.
right?
Gotcha.
And then we have like so many different streams also. So we have like drop off catering, which is people can just purchase food to go.
All right.
So we have that concept. It's like a takeout concept. Then also what we'll do is we offer catering. So if they want catering, we'll cater their event there. But if they want to rent the kitchen, or if they want outside catering, they would have to pay for that too.
Yeah.
All right.
We would charge them on top of that. So that concept in itself will generate enough money to cover the overhead and then some. But we're definitely planning right now. So we're still in the growth stage of planning and like coming up with the business model to support that.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Jess. We are realtors, even though we're podcasters. And listen, holla at, you better tell Ben too. Holla at Jess, all right? I'm throwing that hook in there. Holla at Jess, all right? We'll help you guys out when you guys are ready for look for a commercial space.
Absolutely.
Nah, definitely.
Tell us about the food. Wait, I want to know about the food.
This girl's always hungry.
I want to know about the food. Tell me about what kind of food
Yes.
you serve. What's your specialty?
Yeah.
What are people kind of like? Because I know you probably got those people that kind of like, they'd be twitching for it. They'd be like, when are you bringing this certain meal back or whatever? Tell us about that. I want to know.
Well, I'll just give you a little, like, the quick intro of what I tell all my customers. So, Distinguished Catering is a luxury boutique catering business based out of Rhode Island that serves the greater New England, and we specialize in Afro-infused soul food.
Ooh, talk about that.
So, it's the cooking techniques and ingredients.
Yo, stop the nonsense. What's wrong with
Because you know when you
I wasn't done with the intro.
Sorry.
You should have let off with that first in the beginning.
It's the cooking techniques and ingredients like derived from West African cuisine, and we infuse it into soul food.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
That was my happy dance. It's like if I do a little,
Oh, no, that's
if I sit down in front of
Yes.
like good food, we all got a happy dance.
She has
You
a happy
know.
dance. I have the money dance.
You got the money dance. I got a happy
Hey.
dance. I love it. So, what is your background?
Mhm.
What's your what? So we know Ben
Ben's
is
Liberian.
Liberian.
I'm
Yeah.
Liberian too.
Liberian,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
first gen. So
First
First
generation
gen.
yeah,
Liberian.
so
Shout
I
out
was
to all the
born here.
Liberians.
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, right? Because Ben was born in Liberia. I was born here. So it's like he has more of the authentic,
Yeah.
like, aspect of it, and then I have more of the American aspect of it. So it's like when we're putting
Perfect marriage.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when we're putting our concepts together, it's just like we take very, very much pride in our cuisine and what we serve. So it's like we take a thorough time, like really analyzing our menu. So yeah, the concept is amazing. And then we have OGs that work with us.
She said OGs.
OGs.
If you guys don't know, she's talking that slang. If you guys don't know what OGs are, what's OGs? It could be original gangsters, like original grandpas.
Original grandpas in this
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
That
That's
just
dope.
yeah, like that just know how to cook Liberian cuisine, like
Authentic Liberian dishes.
authentic
Facts.
They are
Liberian
not
cuisine.
measuring.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
The
Nope.
ancestors are
yes,
telling them. The
not
ancestors,
Everything's
measuring.
on eyes. Everything's
ancestors
on
tell them when to stop.
And that's the hard part because I'm like, all right, we're trying to create our kitchen Bible, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. What's the measurements for this? I don't
actually
know.
great. That's great that you brought that up. How do you guys, not to be long winded in that aspect of it, but how do you guys measure that? Because if you're talking to OGs and getting feedback in terms of how they make certain dishes, but now you have to apply it
Yeah.
and have this recipe so maybe your team could cook it. How does that conversation come about? Like, what do
Yeah.
you know to measure?
Well, Sadiq, that's the thing. It's still like a work in progress, but one of the concepts that we came up with is that creating having them do the broths and the sauces ahead of time, where we could just kind of like put things together, because a lot of that, the base is everything.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have a base that's similar to sofrito.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like the onion and the peppers. So like basically when they create those bases, we can use that and build it from there. Our rices, like our meats, like our sauces, whatever.
I love Liberian
So
food.
tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your jollof rice?
Oh my God! Here we go. Listen, you better
I'ma
answer
start a
correct.
beef.
I'm Nigerian.
I'm starting a
Time
beef.
out.
I'm
Time
starting
out.
a, I'm starting a
We're
beef.
not doing no
I'm
war
starting
This
a
is
here
this is
today.
an
I'm
old
kidding.
at age like conversation. Like I don't want to hear this shit. Listen,
Yo,
man.
everyone's about
Listen.
to enter the chat. The Ghanaians
Everybody's
are
gonna
entering the
enter the
chat.
chat, like-
The Nigerians, the
I
Liberians,
don't want
everybody.
to deal with
Sorry.
that conversation.
Yeah, I just think that Nigerians love y'all to death, but like you guys have the brains, the knowledge. Stick to that. We got the food right now.
She told you.
We'll
Listen,
we'll
alright.
stay with the
No,
food.
Full transparency. Yo, a lot of Nigerians gonna hate me for this, but this is real speaking real. I really don't care. I do love me some Liberian rice.
Thank you.
They
Sadiq.
make some great rice, and that's real. That's
Sometimes
real.
you just gotta know
talk.
your you just
That's
gotta
real
know.
talk.
Strengths,
It's just
right?
like, Vic's Dominican, I'm half Puerto Rican, and I'm sorry to all my Dominicans, but Puerto Ricans make a better mofongo.
Ooh.
Woo! I never had a
A
Puerto
Rican mofongo.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I've had it from the island, and I do love a Dominican mofongo,
Yeah.
but there's just something different. It's like
Yeah.
it's like softer, a little like, I don't know. It's less garlicky too.
Mm.
It's like not as aggressive.
I gotta
So
try
I be
Puerto
saying
Rican
that.
mofongo.
So I
gotta
mean,
try it
my
too.
Dominicans are gonna be they might be a little upset,
Yeah.
but that's just my opinion.
It's an acquired taste, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinion.
No,
So
that's right.
But I
Yeah.
love that. I can't wait to try this food.
Now you plan on we're talking about scale right now on a personal goal. What does your personal goal look like as this business grows?
yeah. So right now, I 2020 I decided to stay down, listening to a lot of Earn Your Leisure and stuff like that. So stay down before I come up, right? So I decided to move back to my parents' home to save, because I personally want to start a real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
So my first investment property, I want to have like a multi-unit,
Yeah.
and then go from there, I've been to Jamaica like 7 times, guys. Like, I'm
Yeah,
trying to get a condo
I
out
love
there
Jamaica.
so
Shout out
I
to the
can rent
Jamaicans.
that,
Yeah.
and make residual income in the next 3-4 years. That's long term, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm gonna be teaming up with my mom to do that, and that's how we're gonna build generational wealth within
Fire.
our family.
Shout out to the people that know when to step back. It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing having to move back home.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing. I tell a lot of like my friends or even potential clients that are
Yeah.
doing that and they kind of say it like they whisper it like I moved home. Like
Yeah.
you gotta say that out loud because some
Listen, be
people don't
proud.
some people's parents don't have that ability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it, like that's a blessing in itself
Or
to
some
have that.
people are in their apartments and they're stuck.
Yeah.
Especially the way apartments are so expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Like LA is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know my sister, she's like, girl, take advantage of this because if I was home, I would do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know?
we bought a house with an in-law
Mm-hmm.
specifically knowing that it's a place my son can have
Yeah.
when he's of age, so he's not in a rush to move out. He's not trying to like
That's
you can
so
stay
good.
as long as you need to.
Yeah.
So that you can establish yourself.
Yeah.
Save your
Amazing.
money and whatever we can do to help. I think that's the fact that your mom's in your first plan.
Yeah.
That's nice. So tell me
I
what's
love
your
that.
mom think? What's your mom think of all this?
She's very proud. She's very proud. She's very hard on me because she really sees the vision and she
Typical
really
African.
wants me. Yeah, she really wants me to succeed. She always says that I'm one of her only hopes. So like I'm very grateful to have her in my life. She's definitely like been there since day one.
Yeah.
Since
Shout out to mommy.
Yeah.
We love you over here, mommy. keep pushing her for greatness. She deserves it.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you say that is because it goes back to where when establishing a business, right? We scaling back to realize what our future end goal is supposed to look like. It's hard for a lot of people, and especially when you lost everything and you have to start all over. That starting all over is like it's hard to like it's a hard pill to swallow. Pause. But for the most part, if you realize that and be like, you know what, there's a purpose for this. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Then it allows you to be able to like forget all the noise, forget what people think, because at the end of the day, you're doing this for you. You're not doing it for nobody. You're doing it for you.
And it takes time.
It takes time.
Like
It
we
does.
talked about,
Business takes
the Raising Canes,
I was just
right?
thinking that.
1966, right? And
Consistency.
people were telling them no,
Mm-hmm.
doors closing.
Yes.
And we have this. We talk about this. I mean,
Yeah.
we're on social media,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like that instant gratification that
All the
people think
time.
they're always gonna get, and they're not realizing that the most successful people that you're looking at and saying I want to be like them, they have a story.
Yeah.
Their origin story is filled with struggles and trials and tribulations and all of that. And so you're only seeing like that tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like you're a successful businesswoman with a plan that still wants to and still needs to grow.
Yeah.
But that does not diminish the fact that you're here and you've worked so hard.
And it doesn't
Right.
diminish your character either.
No.
No.
Because you know who you are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like I feel like the moral of the story is consistency.
Yeah.
No, like a lot of people don't like to play the long game, but that's what it is to be successful.
Yeah.
You have to stand the course and have tunnel vision. You cannot look at what everything, because if you follow social media, like you're literally not going to be happy with yourself.
No.
So sometimes you have to mute those pages.
Yeah.
You have to clear out the noise and just have tunnel vision and focus on that goal no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
I love people like her who's realizing that social media is a major distraction.
Absolutely.
There's a lot we talk about all the time. Like there's a lot of nonsense, a lot of bullshit that goes on social media, a lot of misinformation that goes on social media. When we have people like you that sit down in front of us and realize that and can minus that distraction, I think that's more empowering than anything.
Well, and use it for the positive aspects
use it for
of
the
it,
positive,
because it
100%.
can be a dope tool. Like, I mean, 20 years ago, we wouldn't have a free way to advertise.
True.
We were paying for radio
Yeah.
spots.
True.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it can be a blessing as long as you know you
Absolutely.
stay
If you use
grounded
it for that.
and use it for
For
what
the
its
right thing.
purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely right.
I agree.
One of the things that we like to do on our platform, matter of fact, I'll let Ange run this. It's a game that we like to play
Okay.
and whatnot.
Okay.
She's typically good at
So
that.
it's a little game. I'm going to name 5 people, and I want you to give me just one word answers, like
Okay.
Nothing
just
else, just
nothing else,
one word. What do you
nothing
think
else.
about?
Oh, okay.
So it's just gonna be. It'll just be just a person, and then see what you.
Do you say something in alignment with them?
Nope.
Like
I'm
what?
just gonna name off some random people, and I just want to see what
And
your
the first
opinion
thing
is.
that comes to
First
mind.
thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Why you look at me?
Gordon Ramsay,
Hell's Kitchen.
Ooh, okay.
Rachel Ray,
Food Network.
Mm.
Wolfgang Puck,
A restaurant. I don't know.
Guy Fieri.
Oh yeah. Food Network for sure.
All right.
Okay, this is when I added. Cooking con Omi, O'Malice Hopper.
Ooh. I don't know. Can I?
You can pass. You
That
can
was a
pass.
hard.
That was a
I
hard
would
one.
say pass.
No, I just wanted to know.
that
No,
was
those
pass.
were those were some chefs. And the last one there is O'Malley. She actually lives in East Providence. She was
real?
just on. Yeah, she
Oh,
was
shit.
so
Oh.
she's a Rhode Island native. She's Puerto Rican,
Oh
and
wow.
she kind of like her business expanded over COVID.
Get
She was a
out of
makeup artist. Yep, I met her doing makeup, and then over COVID, we obviously weren't working,
Yeah.
and she started cooking on TikTok
Mm.
and on Instagram. You know, we were all finding something to do,
Yeah.
and she just kind of blew up. So she just was
Wow.
I think she just shot another thing with Gordon Ramsay for he does those undercover kitchen things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the Kitchen
Yeah.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
She did one of those with him, but she was a contestant on what's the name of the cooking show?
Which one? There's
The
a lot of them.
I know it's
Unfortunately.
his cooking show, and I can't even remember it right now.
Master Chef.
Master Chef, yeah,
Mm.
Shout outs to her.
yeah. So she was just on another Rhode Islander.
You know who actually
Amazing.
comes out here a lot too, talking about another Rhode Island chef, Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
His wife is from North Providence, I believe. So he's married to a Rhode Islander.
Wow.
He typically goes to the owner of New York System.
Yep.
When I go there every once, not all the time, once in the blue moon.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I chop it up with the owner of New
Yeah.
York System. Be like, yeah, Guy Fieri be coming there buying like a whole sleeve of wieners
Wow.
and stuff like
Rhode
that.
Island
So,
has the most chefs per capita than
Very
any other
talented.
state. Yeah.
very,
Wow.
very.
Rhode Island.
I didn't know-
See, the thing is like, yeah,
I know
we,
we have some of the
we
best
got
food.
issues with small
We
businesses.
definitely have one of the best
but
food.
we do have a lot of good food because we're a melting pot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of, and I mean Johnson and Wales.
Mhm.
So you're getting people, and then people are coming from all over the world to study at Johnson and
That's
Wales,
true.
and they're either staying or going.
Yeah.
When they choose to stay, those are the chefs that are gonna be. You don't even know.
Exactly.
They're not. A lot of chefs, they're not trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to do what they love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rhode Island is dope for that.
Nah, but that one's definitely dope. I went to Johnson and
Definitely.
Wills, so I graduated from Johnson and Wills. So shout out that you went to Johnson and Wills, and shout out to Johnson and Wills too.
Shout out
Major,
to Johnson
major,
and
major
Wills.
moves. If you're trying to be a chef, that's where to go. And also
Mhm.
it's good for business too, by the way. How does Jessica Zeon define success in her own words?
I define success as freedom.
Ooh.
Being able to do what you love to do and feeling like you're not working a day in your life. Also, just having that time back, being financially free, not being enslaved to your business, having passive income. I believe just truly defining a path for not only just you but the people around you. They say that when you die, people are just going to remember the impact that you left on them.
Facts.
So it's not only just financial, but it's how you impact others too. Because I truly believe that success. We're here to pour into others. We're here to be a blessing to others. We're not here to just feed ourselves, but to give other people an opportunity to grow too with us.
That's dope. That's dope.
And for any aspiring chefs, potential caterers, what advice do you have for them? Because, and I asked this specifically because my son attends Cranston West,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you knew this, but they got a banging uh program for, yeah,
Really?
they got like a state of the art kitchen.
Oh
wow.
It's
wow.
I didn't know
crazy,
that.
yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
every Friday
amazing.
they put on restaurants.
Yeah.
That's
The
fly.
the like seniors and juniors, they're the chefs, right? And they run the kitchens.
That's
They
fly,
design
man. That's
they design the
cool.
restaurants. They
Oh,
design.
that's
Yeah,
so
I was
cool.
I
That
wish
is
I wish I
really
would have
cool.
had this. But
We
they
didn't have
design
that when
they
we were growing
design the
up.
menus, they design the kitchens,
Oh
and then every
wow.
Friday like you can buy your tickets and
Mm-hmm.
then whatever the theme is. And this year they actually got a food truck.
Oh,
So
that's so
like these
cool.
kids are learning
Mm-hmm.
how to like run a business too, right? Like and how to really be a boss. So they hire the underclassmen. They have front of the house, they have bus boys, they
Wow.
have servers. So like they run this whole thing. And so I'm sure a lot of these kids might see this.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
So what advice do you give to kids like that?
I just strongly advise that you get mentorship and you stay the course. Don't allow statistics and what other people say to discourage you in this industry because this industry is forever growing. It's so unique in its own way, and especially like you said with social media, there's so much avenues out there. So don't allow what statistics say about restaurants and so on and so forth to discourage you. Stay the course, believe in your vision, and don't let anybody tear it down. And get mentorship. Go seek other people to mentor you that are in the industry, that are where you want to be, and just
And
keep at it.
learn the business
Yeah,
side, right? Like
learn the
learn the
business. The
business side. It
numbers
can't.
are very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Numbers are very important. Like learn how to pitch, learn your numbers.
Numbers in terms of the pricing of your food.
The overall like overhead costs, like the pricing of your food, like just knowing the statistics on the food industry in itself too.
Yeah.
Like just know your numbers, like especially when you create a business model, like a business plan, when you start getting into it, definitely always know those numbers so like you're ready, like when the investors come, you're just ready, because that's all they want to hear. They want to hear the
Of
numbers.
course.
This is
Of
true.
course. Of
True.
course.
Yeah.
If you need an investor,
Yeah.
unfortunately, they don't want to hear about your origin story. Like a
Yeah.
little bit. You probably get 30 seconds of that, and then
Yeah.
they want to know like,
Everything's the bottom
yeah,
line.
Yeah,
their
the
bottom line
bottom
because they're
line.
investing in you. They
Yeah.
want
They
a
want a
return on
return.
that investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
How going back to what piggybacking off what Angela was asking, if somebody wants to, besides the advice you give, but if they want to reach out to you, talk to you, how can someone reach out to you?
So the best outlet to reach us is our website, distinguishedcatering.com/contact. You can, if you have an event that you want already have in mind, you could just fill up an inquiry form, or you can contact us, schedule a phone call, and we'll be in touch with you within 48 hours.
Social media platforms?
Yes, we have Instagram, so that's at distinguish_catering. And we have Facebook, so that's distinguish catering at Facebook. And yeah, that's basically the best platforms to reach us at.
That's what's up. You guys know what it is. Shout out to Jessica Zeon. Thank you very much for coming onto our platform, sharing your story, and giving us some insight in the catering industry and so forth. Definitely wish you more success and more blessings in regards to that. You got anything to say, Ange?
No, I'm excited to see where you go with this. I'm excited in a year from now. I always like to say that, give a year, because it's true.
Yeah.
In a year is a short time, but it also can be a long time. So I'm interested to see your growth business personally. You have a really good spirit, a beautiful spirit.
Thank you
So
so much.
I'm excited to meet you, know you, keep in touch with you.
Thank you so
Facts.
much.
And if you guys want to get a hold of us, you guys know where we be at. We be on Instagram at the Netwrk, TheNetwrk.co. Reach out to us anytime. We're also on TikTok. We're on Thread. We're on all your social media platforms. And we're also on YouTube. So find us.
Shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out to our sponsors, Caltiff Homes. If you guys looking to lease, you can definitely reach out to them. And also, in addition to that, if you're looking to get into renovations or do a new construction property, they could definitely help you out with that and help you navigate that. And for anybody who's looking to be a sponsor on the network, definitely reach out to us at the Netwrk, TheNetwrk podcast@gmail.com. We definitely would love more sponsors, because the more sponsors that we have, the more people that follows and like and shares this content, we'll be able to bring on amazing guests to be able to provide insights and more value to you guys. Until next time, it's your boy Sadiq and your homegirl
Angela.
Talk to you guys soon.